Welcome back to another episode of Girls & Co. I'm here with Taylor and Sam, the two OGs. I start every episode like that, but we have a very special guest. If you've been following this show for a while, you know this face. We've talked about him ample amount of times, good and bad. Just kidding. Dan, welcome.
Hey, everybody. Hello. Second time ever on Girls & Co.
Yeah.
This one, people are going to see it.
Why did you request to come back? Just out of curiosity.
The first one is gone. And my mic wasn't working. I got gypped.
Okay.
I wanted my second time in the sun.
Okay.
So everyone gets there one day in the sun. I have 2 days in the sun.
You saw Ronnie come on here and you're like, I want that.
Yeah, when Ronnie said, oh, man, that Dan, he looks sick, I didn't realize he meant I looked ill. Like when I watched it back, did have a tear in my eye. Like, he's like, man, that guy looks sick. I thought it meant like cool, but I had COVID.
Like physically ill. Yeah. Physically ill.
I was like, Sam, I don't feel well. I'm going home. Anyway.
That's fine. All right. We start off every single episode talking about our weekend. So, Sam, what did you do this past weekend?
This past weekend, I was in Canada.
Whoop.
Wow.
For
What's
what?
going on there? What were you doing
For what?
there?
Just visiting.
Who?
Visiting Nick. And guys, I'm losing my mind.
Why?
Because I went to Canada over the weekend, bought the flight at the end of May.
Okay.
I booked my flight for Friday morning. And I went on Wednesday night to go check into my flight, download the Air Canada app, do all that stuff. And then I type in my confirmation code because I also got a reminder email. Type in my confirmation code and it all works. And it's like, oh, flight is Thursday night, 4:55 p.m. I'm like, this isn't right. I remember booking a flight for Friday morning. So I get all sorts of confused. I check all my different emails, all this stuff. And then I find a different confirmation code for my flight up Friday. And I'm like, what's going on here? Because if I have to leave Thursday night, fine, but I got to know now.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to the warehouse and I'm flying out of LaGuardia.
Right.
And all these other things. So then I call Air Canada, wait forever. I finally get this nice man named Matt. And I'm like, Matt, I thought I booked a flight for Friday morning, but my app is telling me Thursday night. Like, what flight am I getting on? What's happening here? So then he is going through all this stuff. He's so confused. I'm so confused. I'm like really concerned. And then I was like, so he's like, yeah, I see this flight. Because I read him the different confirmation codes I had. And then I was like, so do I just have 2 flights? Like what? And he's like, yeah, it looks like it. I'm like, what? Okay, so I have my Friday morning flight. I have a Thursday afternoon flight. I'm like, can you tell me, like, when did I get this Thursday afternoon flight? So he looks up. He's like, oh, like, you booked this in March. You booked this on March 30th.
No,
March 30th, I booked a flight to Canada for June. Forgot about it. May, I booked a flight for June for the same weekend.
What?
Yep.
What?
No,
Did you have 2 return flights, too?
Yep. A full 2 everything.
I think you're working too much.
I had everything.
That's scary.
It was terrifying. But it gets better. Anyway, so Matt was very nice. He canceled my other flights. I got my money back. He moved
that's nice.
my Monday flight to later because we had Monday off. So it all worked out. Just really concerning for my well-being. Flash forward to this morning. I have a flight tomorrow to go to Florida for my friend's bachelorette party that I booked 2 months ago. Used my JetBlue points. All this stuff was good to go. Go to download the app for JetBlue, and I type in my information. It's like, oh, flight not found. Like, try something else. Go to my email. Can't find a confirmation email anywhere. So then I'm like, oh my God, I did not book this flight. There's nothing anywhere. So then I booked a flight for tomorrow, today.
So
Sam,
I don't know what's wrong with
You
you.
booked 2 flights
And then I booked no flights.
Then you booked no flights.
I think you're just traveling a lot. I think you're just confusing yourself.
You have like so many timelines in your head that are like
insane.
going.
So many. I truly think I'm losing my mind. The other day, last week, I was going to the gym after work, left my gym bag at the office. And then you guys know the other day I left my water bottle at Whole Foods for a week because I didn't know where it was.
And you took it back?
It was my nice water bottle. Yeah, they had it in
Stanley?
No, it's a
No free ads.
Hydro Flask. Anyway, I'm just completely losing my mind. Anyway, so besides that whole travel debacle, it was a great weekend.
That's
Sorry
wild.
to commandeer this. Update
Holy
this
moly.
section of
You
the
need
podcast.
to
Are you
like,
alright?
you
No,
need to take
I'm
like
not.
48 hours.
I called the first time I noticed that my Air Canada issue. I called my mom. I was like, I need to go get a CT scan. Like, I have a brain tumor and I'm gonna die.
Stop that.
I'm like really being so
You're
serious.
just
I'm
worn
truly
down.
concerned
You're-
for my.
you're worn out.
We
for
all
my
have
health.
those moments
It's either
here.
that or it's like truly like long-term COVID effects of like brain fog.
It could be that.
Because I remember having that as a symptom, like when I got COVID, and it's absolutely insane.
This has happened to all of us.
I think it probably has to do with like how many different things your like mind
Yeah.
is on at once. So when it comes to like personal things, it's like low on the totem pole. So you're like, yeah, I did that. Or
Yeah, like that's what my parents say, but like I can only use that excuse so much. You know, like everyone has hard jobs.
No, or it's like your brain works. You're like thinking about like floorball, like
Right,
last
right.
month. Like you're
And
gonna have like next
All-Star, and,
month.
that's the
like,
thing.
yeah.
It's like already thinking about
Yeah.
December and November.
That's
Like
why your whole
just crazy.
timeline of months is off.
that's what I think.
Not a tumor.
It's just we can't say for sure, but yeah.
I think
Anyway, had a
Anything
great
going on up there?
had a great weekend.
Other
I
than
went
that?
I went mini golfing. I actually did so many things. I went mini golfing. I played Chinese checkers for the first time. I played spike ball for the first time.
Spike ball's fun.
All of which were great games.
And it was light, like all day.
Oh, yeah. We were outside. Was also practicing floorball. We were outside playing floorball until like 9:15 p.m.
Yeah.
Bright as day.
I love that you were
It was really
like
wonderful.
practicing floorball
Yeah.
with your
Everyone
soon-to-be
else is.
opponent.
Everyone else is practicing, so I have to too.
I love that.
So yeah, it was really good.
Good. I'm glad. Hopefully it was a good like reset.
Yes, it was great.
Good. Dan, what did you do this weekend?
I turned 36.
Woo!
Should not have revealed my age.
No one's
Father's
gonna.
Day.
I don't think anyone's gonna believe that.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
Truly, like
I
I
don't
don't think
think
people are
so.
gonna believe that you're 36.
Yeah. Turned 36, Father's Day, family, all that fun stuff. I love that my birthday always falls like around Father's Day, so it's like a big. So everyone's always
Yeah.
around.
You get to be with family.
Yeah, and then on the morning of my birthday, I don't know how many more times this will happen. I woke up and like all my nieces and nephews, they all slept over, and like 9 a.m. are like in the pool.
I love
So I was like,
it.
this is
Yeah,
all I
that's-
really
yeah.
want. If I can't, like, I just want to be around my family, my birthday. So it was a very nice weekend of chilling with the fam
Good.
and doing birthday stuff.
Good. Nice. Taylor, what about you?
I really don't remember. Does anyone know what I did?
It's midweek
I know what
already.
you did on Thursday. We went to Jeff McNeil's thing.
Oh yeah, we did go to Jeff McNeil's charity Top Golf event.
Far, right?
It did take me 3 hours to get there.
I
Yes.
live-
Honestly,
I grew up 20 minutes more east of that.
I'm cursing the whole state of Long Island. I can't stress enough
Yeah.
how much I
State.
don't, or whatever. The whole
island. The peninsula?
Area.
It's got me all worked up.
Yeah.
It took me 3 hours to get there, hour and 15 minutes to get home. Just for reference on like the extended amount of time I was in the car.
Yeah, when Jolly told me what time you had to be there, I was like, yikes, that's a bad
No,
time.
that's
It's
I
the
left my house
time.
at 2:30 and picked Paxton up from the train station at 5:30 in Ronkonkoma.
Yeah.
like
that's
she
bad.
got there 5 minutes before I arrived.
It's bad.
I was like, I brought a book thinking like, oh, I'll get there really early.
Yeah.
No big deal. No.
Expressway's tough.
Jeff was super nice. We
Yeah.
interviewed him for like 5 minutes.
He was great.
He was really cool.
Cool.
I don't remember after that, to be completely honest. I have no idea what I did.
That was last Thursday, though.
Yeah, and I have no idea. I don't know.
I
don't
know
think
you
I did
were.
anything.
I know you
stayed
were
around your
working.
house?
I know. Didn't you go see family?
I worked. No, that was the weekend before. I Father's Day. My dad doesn't live around here, so
Right.
I didn't do anything on Father's Day.
I know
I
you
laid
were
by my
working. I
pool for
think
a little
on
bit.
Saturday.
I worked Saturday. Guys,
Great
I have
episode for our
no
mental
idea.
health.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So
I'm-
far off to a hot. Yeah.
I have no idea. I also can't believe it's June 21st. Like I looked
I
down
don't-
today and I
Today's
was
the
like,
I don't
longest
know.
day of
what
the
the
year.
fuck is going
Oh yeah,
on?
summer solstice.
Summer solstice.
I don't know what that means.
Longest day of the
Longest
year.
day of the
Today.
Yeah, it's first
Yeah.
day of summer.
Oh.
Right?
Yes,
21st?
yeah.
Longest day of the
Yeah.
year. Going to the Yankee game. Hope it stays sunny all night.
Me too.
This is a
Makes sense.
chaotic start to the episode.
Yeah.
Pax, what did you do this weekend?
I'm panicking. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what, I have no idea.
You know what? Actually on Friday, I filmed with Maddie.
Oh, yeah.
And Justin Pinnock and Ronnie, where I won't give away too many details, but essentially we made a board game come to life.
I heard.
And Pinnock had a very different experience than I did. Like mine was very joyful and happy. Like me and Maddie like eating ice cream and like doing fun things at a museum. And Pinnock and Ronnie got poured on like rain wise. So that'll be a really fun thing to come out. I'm trying to think. I didn't do anything Saturday.
You and Jess had a fun adventure, right?
Sunday, yes. See, I'm glad I post things that people
that's
can
why
remember.
I was like, do
I'm
you guys know what I did
don't
this
know.
weekend? Because I don't.
I went to Governor's Island
Yeah, nice.
on Sunday. 10 out of 10 recommend. If you ever have like girlfriends or anything in town, like such a great place to go. It's a car-free island, so there's no cars over there. It's awesome. Went to the spa because Jess got me a spa gift card for my birthday. And yeah, basically had a day date with Jess, and Jake was not there. So
Great.
that was great. Yeah, that's literally all I can remember. So let's dive into what I do remember, which is Dan's interview. First question, always start off with asking, Dan, who are you?
Oh, I saw that question. It made me like
It
sweat.
Yeah, it does. It
Sends a shiver down my spine. I am Dan Kenobi. I'm Old Man Dan.
Yeah.
I'm an Italian man from Long Island.
Can you keep rhyming?
Yeah.
I don't know anything that rhymes with island. I like sports. I like
Okay.
family time,
Okay.
relaxing, Frank Sinatra,
Cool.
Post
Boxing
Malone,
every now and then.
boxing,
Post Malone?
Post Malone. I love Post Malone.
I love Post Malone too.
Great live.
Like I think
Great live.
he
Great.
had like when he first came out, I was like, "What's this guy's deal? He's got all the face tats and like, what kind of music is he making? Is he a joke?
White
He's not
Iverson.
a joke. He is like he's like a really good artist.
He's
Yeah.
a really good artist. Yeah.
Have you seen him live?
No, I've seen the TikToks of him dancing
Yeah.
like a
No, but
lunatic.
he'll do like a
Whitney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a crazy
Oh, I love
good.
that song.
Yeah, he's such
Yeah.
a good musician and like everything. I think he's awesome. I'm not saying anything crazy here. I just
Yeah,
think
I
he's
don't
great.
think this is a hot
he was one of
take.
the top 5 I would go see live.
Yes. Worth
That's
it.
cool.
I think
Yeah.
he's touring soon.
Yeah.
Post Malone, Adele,
Yeah.
Lady Gaga.
So your list of who you'd see live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jay-Z, obviously.
Yeah.
I've seen him live so many times. I know. I want to go to this Legends of Hip Hop.
Oh,
Music festival
at
at
Yankee
Yankee
Stadium.
Mm.
Yeah.
I made that TikTok so the Yankees would potentially see it and be like, "Yeah, we're gonna send him."
I'm still waiting for them to give me like a Hawaiian shirt or a
What are they
basketball
waiting
jersey,
for?
but
Come
like
on.
whatever.
Send
Here we
us
are.
anyway.
So
That's who I am.
back to you. Where did you grow up? Where did you go to college? What did you study? All of the above. Things that, we obviously don't regularly talk about day to day.
I grew up on Long Island, not in Long Island, on it. I went to a lot of different colleges. I should have a doctorate. The amount of the time I spent in college, 7 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I stopped. I partied a lot at West Virginia.
Okay.
I did 2 years at Suffolk Community College, which is a small community school on Long Island.
Yep.
I played baseball. We were really good. Made it to the Junior College World Series. And then decided I didn't want to play baseball anymore in college because it's a chore.
You
So-
played for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 years, went out on top, and then I figured I don't want to play baseball. I want to go to a big party school. And my buddy was already enrolled at West Virginia. I'd visited there a bunch of times while I was at Suffolk, because when you go to Suffolk, it's a commuter school. So all you want to do is just like you just visit people. Like you're not getting a college experience at Suffolk. No offense, Suffolk, if you're listening. West Virginia was very much a party school, and I started good at West Virginia, and then just got sucked into the life of partying and not going to class and just messing up. So I lost a lot of credits, and then I finished at where did I even finish? New York Tech.
He said, "Where did I even?"
I don't
finish?
remember. It was towards the end. I was like, college is so easy if you actually go.
Yeah.
I was taking like
You have to
22
show
credits
up.
a semester to catch up, and I was sitting in the front of the classroom. I was the old kid in the front that was like,
22 credits
the
a
mom.
semester.
"What?"
22.
Yeah. I had to finish fast. I still have nightmares that I'm still in school and I'm not going to finish. Like once a week.
That's crazy.
Like everyone around me is graduated and they're all moved on to careers, and I'm still at New York Tech driving to class doing who knows what.
What did you graduate with?
I
What
don't
degree?
even know. It was like the most BS
He just knows he
degree
did
ever.
it.
Like I started off broadcast journalism at West
Yeah.
Virginia, and I was like, oh, I'm going to learn everything. And then by the end at New York Tech, when I was 23, almost 24, I was like, just give me whatever degree.
Don't
Gets
care.
me
I think it was
outta
like
here.
interdiscidisciplinary studies, which is two
That's
minors
such an
equals a major.
athlete.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah.
It's the most. I don't even have the degree. I don't even know where the diploma is. I didn't go to graduation.
So did you for sure graduate?
I don't know.
Okay.
They didn't check it
Who's to
when
say?
I applied here.
Okay.
Sam.
And now
Must
he's
have slipped
36, folks.
Yeah, and now,
36.
he's still carrying that around. Okay, so you graduated, maybe 23, 24. Where did your career start? Like, where did you start off
Oh man. There were a lot of ups and downs. Didn't just move right into sports. Like sports are really hard to get into. You guys all know this. Like you don't really get into it until you're in your late 20s, I think. Unless you get really lucky. Like I wouldn't say people are lucky here. Of the younger folk that work at John Boy, they're just fortunate that they're all very talented. But like I was talking this with my buddy. Like I didn't really get start in sports when I was like 27, 28. Like I did internships in college at like these little magazines. I worked at MLB Network for a full season in 2011, which was awesome. And then it was like a lot of ups and downs, like MLB.com, which is like not a great place to work, but hope you're not listening, MLB.com. Just like CBS Sports, I worked there.
Yeah.
I worked at Bleacher Report with Dre. That was fun. That was like my first real job in sports and in Manhattan was Bleacher Report.
What'd you do there?
At Bleacher Report, I was a production assistant on the college football team. So back then in Bleacher Report has had so many different like business models. Then it was all about Team Stream Now, which is the BR app, and you subscribe to your team. Like you would subscribe to Tennessee, right? Mm-hmm. So we would make like 5 Tennessee videos a week just for you. They were like 2 to 3 minutes, and it would only live on the app.
Interesting.
But we would make 15 to 20 videos a day about college football, like 5 national college football videos, 5 team specific. So we were just cranking out content, but it wasn't living on YouTube. It was only living on the Team Stream Now app.
What year was this?
2014.
Okay, so it was like right when like social media kind of started picking up, just a little. It still wasn't as big of a thing.
In hindsight, they would go on like YouTube Shorts and like Reels, and like it was a good idea then.
Are you a college football guy?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew enough. Like, if you grew up on Long Island or Northeast, you just don't like college sports.
Yeah.
It's not. There's no culture of college sports here.
I feel validated by you saying that.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
There's no teams here. Like, there was Rutgers, but even then, no one really, like, there's no
If you
pride.
had college sports, it's going to be like maybe basketball, but
maybe
not
St.
really.
John's, but they suck. They haven't been good in years. Yes, I worked at Bleacher Report. It's where I really learned like the ins and outs of media. I worked with a lot of people there that have now gone on to do like great things that are all over the country, working at different media companies and stuff. Even like Dre, like he was an editor there, and I was a PA. Like I wanted to be on camera. Oh, I knew that, but I knew that I had to like, you have to earn it, and you have to like kind of pay your dues. So that was one of the many jobs in sports, but the one that I remember and like, that's the one that like helped me the most.
So like leading, I guess, up to you being here, you wanted to be in media and you wanted to be in sports and you wanted to be on camera, or did you learn that over the course of like all of the different jobs before Bleacher Report?
I always thought like, oh, being on camera is hard. Like I always looked at it as like a really hard task. Yeah, it's really hard to get to that level. It's hard to be. It's like almost seems like an unreachable goal. But I always had people in my life, like my dad being number one, to like, oh, you can do it. Like you should just do it. Like just do it. Like get on camera. Like do stuff. Like just get yourself in front of it. So I would do stuff here and there. Like my brother runs a MMA promotion on Long Island that's on TV, and I would be the face of it. I would call the fights, and that really helped. Another job I forgot to mention, I did morning radio from 6 to 10 a.m. Drive time.
I was about to say, that's like prime drive time.
ESPN affiliate on Long Island.
Okay.
It would be on like before all the stuff came on regular ESPN. That job was nuts. Like I definitely did not want to do radio after that because you're getting up at 3 a.m. You have to have an opinion on literally everything. Do you guys remember Richie Incognito bullying scandal?
Yeah.
That was the big story when I was. That was the big story when I was hosting in the morning. Every day we talked about that.
Yes, I still remember that.
Yeah.
And you have to have an opinion, and you have to have one stance, and you have to be like. Obviously, I was of the opinion that Richie Incognito was a jerk, but on Long Island, like. Some people didn't. They thought toughen up. You get phone calls and all that, but that was fun.
That's so random.
That was like a first real broadcasting job. But then I went back to Bleacher Report after that, where I was behind the scenes. But then I realized, I want to be more on camera, so I went towards boxing, which is like a family, it's the family sport, I should say.
Yeah, walk us through that relation, like you to boxing. Obviously, it runs in your family, basically, like you just said, but. Tell us how you began to fall in love with it and how you kind of made a career out of it.
Yeah, so my dad created this company called CompuBox in 1985. It's pretty much how they track the stats in boxing. So when I say it's the family business, I'm not a boxer, never been in a fight. My dad doesn't fight. Like no one in our family fights. We work in the fight business. So I've been around it since I was very young. Right there, there's a picture of me and Mike Tyson. For reference, came out of the womb, in Mike's arms.
That's insane.
That picture will never die. I hope it never does. It's legendary. I've just been around it my whole life, so I know the ins and outs of the sport. So I think around 2017, after I was working at CBS Sports, another job that just didn't fit me, I was like, all right, I'm just going to start my own show.
It's like a passion project.
Yeah, I'm going to start my own show in the back of my brother's office at the time. My dad and my brother were awesome. They built me a set. And like I knew we were gonna have good guests because of all the people we knew. So we had great guests, and I did it week after week. And like the first episodes, I would go back and watch, and they're so bad. I'm like, hey, this is Dan. My hands are up here, and then like they just trail, and I'm like, you can see me like clearing my throat, and like we did it live for some reason.
Oh my god!
Because Inside Boxing Live is the name of my show.
Yeah.
Because the first 3 weeks were live, and then my brother's like, hey, like maybe we should do it live to tape. He's like, we don't have a team back here, because I would like have 3 guests on, and like the first guest would come on at the beginning of the show, and then like we would say goodbye, then I'm waiting for the next one.
So you just like sitting?
And I'd be sitting there kind of like just obviously filling, and my brother would be like, you can hear him in the back, like you don't have a control room, you can hear him like on the phone. I'd be like, yeah, we're just kind of waiting now. And the first one's I think is still on YouTube. So then we changed the format, but we didn't change the name. Did a couple live shows here, but yeah, that was 2017, and then I just kept doing it every week. Luckily, doing other stuff too, because you can't really make a career off of one show. You gotta do other stuff. So I had like my dad's business, CompuBox, and like odd jobs. Yeah, and then it led me here.
And so, how did you become connected to John Boy Media? I know you're a Yankees fan, so is that like the primary like connection at first, or?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think that's pretty much how everyone kind of came connected to John Boy. Like, you would see him on the internet, and like I think it was 2017. I remember I was working a boxing show with Justin Shackle, and we were like, who is this John Boy guy? Like, have you seen John Boy? And like me and Shackle were talking about him all weekend. Like we were like, he's doing this, he's lip reading, he's making these breakdowns. Like the guy's great, and I love that he was a Yankee fan. Yeah. Because you're a Yankee fan, you know. Sometimes the fans are looked at as like kind of like a obnoxious fan base. Like we kind of were typecasted, and it was cool to me that like we had a fan, like the face of our fandom or whatever was Jimmy. I still think he is, and Jake. So I always thought that was cool. It was like, all right, this guy represents the real Yankee fans. So I drew like a liking to him, and I felt like him and Jake's show was very similar to like what I was doing, where obviously we give you analysis and serious stuff, but we do it in like a lighthearted manner. Like we don't take ourselves too serious. So I was always like, oh, well, I'm a fan of John Boy, Jimmy, Jake, and all their stuff, which makes it crazy to be like be here.
Okay, and so you just reached out to him like straight up?
No,
or
this is crazy.
How did this happen?
Tell the story.
This story is nuts. So obviously back alley at bats I would watch.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool that they were playing Blitzball. And I'm fortunate enough to have a wiffle ball field in the backyard that I grew up in. My dad is crazy. He loves baseball, and he built this field for us. Long story short, he built it so we would move out there to that house. None of us wanted to move from our original, where we originally grew up. Okay. But my dad said, I'm going to build you guys a field.
He baited y'all.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. That's
like,
why.
No,
that's awesome.
I was like, that makes no sense. He's like, we're going to build you a field. He cleared trees, built this whole thing. Now it's what you see now with the big monster is like the final product. But there was many different versions of the field. So I'm back there one day, and we're playing. Me and my brother are just messing around out there, and I saw a tweet Jimmy put out. Like, we got kicked out of our alley. Like, there's rats, or like the landlord is not allowing us to play, so we need to find backyards to play in. It was just like very chance luck. Like, he tweeted that, and I was in the backyard. And then I was like to my brother Rob, he was like, should we send the video of the field? Like, my brother, who is usually, he's not as like he's outgoing, but he's not like me. He would be like, I was expecting him to say no. Like, don't do that. He's never going to come. He's like, yeah, do it. So I sent a video of the field, and like I was like, you guys can come play here. And Jimmy responded like right away. Yeah. Because he was very desperate to find a field. And he's like, we're texting, whatever, tweeting back and forth, and he's like, just DM and set up a day. And then the following week, him, Jake, Tom Prizeman, and Zach came to our backyard.
And I've never met him before.
Never met him. I watched
so
them like every week, but like they could have been absolute weirdos for like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My mom made like a giant hero. Like my dad like lined the field with paint, and like the field was like pristine. And like we made my nephews came. It was like we were really like taking it serious, and we just kept in touch. And then I remember Jimmy telling me and my dad when we were there, he's like, "Oh, we just got this warehouse in Jersey City, and I think that's our next big venture is this warehouse, and we're going to put on Blitzball tournaments, and who knows, one day you can come play in our first tournament we were going to do in the winter." which was obviously Blitzball Battle 1 that I got invited to. Supposed to play with Robbie, my brother, but he's a teacher. He has an actual real job. And he couldn't come Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from all day long. So I played with Justin Shackle, and then, the rest is history, as they say. Like, John Boy was expanding. I was luckily that I had my show, and, like, I had somewhat of a following. So I just kind of pitched it. I think I pitched it to Sam first.
Maybe, yeah, or at least set up the meeting.
I think we went out. Yeah, we went out. Like the whole crew went out to dinner on the final night, and I made sure to like sit next to Sam. I was like, I got this show. And,
by the way, kind of a big deal.
Kind of had like the Mike Tyson picture like on my phone. Oh yeah.
Oh no, yeah. Sorry,
me and Uncle Mike.
Yeah. But another thing that really helped is during Blitzball Battle 1, I had an interview with Dame Lillard. So I had to leave. I had to leave Blitzball Battle.
So big.
Yeah. Like, I tried. He was my white whale. He's a big boxing fan, and I was trying for years to get him. And his handler finally, he's like, all right, we can do it this day at 5 p.m. And it was right in the middle of Blitzball Battle 1. And we got knocked out earlier that day. So I remember asking Plouffe, I was like, do you think I should do the interview from the warehouse, or do you think I should rush home to my apartment in Astoria to do the interview? And Plouffe's like, get the hell out of here. He's like, the internet's not going to work here.
Yeah.
He's like, this is Dame Lillard.
Yeah.
So I luckily I was able to just like say that to Jimmy and Jake. Just it helps to be like, oh yeah, I'm in the business, and like I do have a somewhat successful show. So that was kind of cool. So everything kind of just came together, and I'm very thankful for all of that.
And you just hit 10,000 subscribers on your channel.
That was
Go
huge.
subscribe to Inside Boxing Live.
I'm very excited for that. As you know, or the people that do, maybe they don't know, like YouTube is the hardest, I think, to build in terms of audience and subscribers. I remember I sent a text to Chris Algieri, who's my co-host, and Ronnie. We have our group chat, JM Hot Boys.
Nice.
Got a text right here. And I set goals out for the year. I was like, by the end of 2023, I was like, I want 10,000 subscribers. I want us to go to one big fight. And then I was like, and I forgot what the other one was, like maybe a live event or something like that. And we've done all that.
You've done all of them.
And it's crazy. And
in half the year.
I know. I'm looking for bigger goals, like 20K and more events and more of that. But yeah, it's been a very fun couple months.
All right, quick break. We got to shout out the one and only Neat Burger. Joe's McFly and I actually got a chance to go down to their new location in Soho. And let me tell you, it was incredible. I know sometimes you hear about a vegan restaurant and you're like, am I going to be eating trees? Am I going to be dipping grass in cheese? You never know. But this place is absolutely incredible. 100% plant-based. Everything is made in-house. So there's no like pre-made, like frozen fake chicken patties or anything like that. It's truly incredible. We got to try all of the things on the menu, the buffalo chicken sandwich and the buffalo cauliflower bites, chef's kiss. And the best part is that I have a wrap named after me, and Joe's McFly has a salad named after him. I don't know how we got here, but truly, it is one of the peaks of my career. I'm not even kidding. So if you want to try Neat Burger, be sure to go on down to their location in Soho, or you can order online if you were in the New York area. And you can actually use code JOHNBOY for $5 off your first $15 purchase. So use code JOHNBOY, $5 off when you spend $15 or more. Neat Burger, check it out, tag us, and make sure if you go to the Soho location, you take a selfie in their selfie wall, because the aesthetics are to die for, okay? Code JOHNBOY, $5 off your $15 purchase. You're welcome. So just from your perspective, what's been kind of like a pinch me moment in your career thus far? Just in media. Yeah, let's start with here. Just here. And more so in the boxing world, too.
Well, just before we filmed, you said it was Jimmy washing her hair in the sink.
Yeah, True. When Jimmy washed my hair after the pudding was dumped on my head, which, funny story, my girlfriend's parents, they were like, we saw Dan get pudding dumped on his head. What exactly is he do? What does he do? What does he do for work? I was like, yeah, that's my boss, just like washing pudding out of my hair in the sink like a baby.
Shampoo.
Like weirdly, those are like not pinch me moments, but there are moments where, like as I just explained, like I would watch John Boy content, and I would watch like All-Star game, like everyone going out to the All-Star game in like 2018 or 2019, and then like being at the All-Star game last year with that crew that I watched was kind of wild, kind of surreal. I would say those are like the pinch me moments. Or I have a good story. Last All-Star game, we were heading to the event, the live event, and we had our vans, and not everyone could fit in the vans. So Chris Rose was like, "Oh, you can ride with me," me and Jerry Blevins. So I'm in the back seat of Rose's car, and Rose and Blevins are chatting about broadcasting, and Blevins is just like picking his brain because it's Chris Rose and he knows everything and he's done everything. And I'm just sitting in the back like a fly on the wall, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like Jerry, who I think is like such a seasoned broadcaster, even though he's only been doing it for like a year or two. Yeah. I was like, he is seeking advice from Chris. And I'm sure Chris seeks advice from someone else, and I'm like third on the depth chart of this car ride because I'm like I'm hoping that Blevins is asking the questions that I want to ask Chris, and like
taking
he is
notes on your phone,
right? And I'm like listening in, and just to have that resource to have Chris Rose to like now we text back and forth, and he's great, and he gives such good advice. And one of the biggest pieces of advice Chris said is like when you do an interview, it's not about you. It's about the person you're interviewing, and use your ears more than your mouth.
Yes.
Because they could say something so profound, and if you're thinking about your next question or how much time do I have left or is this interview good, you're not going to remember or you're not going to even hear what they have to say, and then you could gloss over a phenomenal answer and have no follow-up. So that was like something that stuck with me, but that whole ride was like pretty cool, and it was just like one small part of a classic like John Boy Media weekend where we're doing All-Star Game, bingo with Justin Turner, events, but that one little ride for like a half hour was like the coolest parts of like working here.
It kind of like, I think we sometimes forget, like just Rose in particular, I think we sometimes forget like how big Chris Rose actually is. Because I mean, to us, he's just like, the dad of the group, like he's a coworker, like he obviously gives great advice. Jolly said that he got great advice from Rose too, and I have as well. And like when you say his name, like just around other media people or just sports people, they're like, "Oh yeah, like that's right. He works for John Boy." And I'm like, I forget that how like iconic of a career he actually has.
He was on Best Damn Sports Show, which was like the show. That show was so ahead of its time. Like all the shows we see today are because of that show. Yes. And I was talking to him about that. Like he was listing off all the producers on that show that have now moved on to be like heads of studios, and like
it's crazy.
It's wild. And also he like gave the Yankees their trophy in 2009 on the field. Like it's nuts. So whenever I do show people in like the boxing business, like they're always asking me like, what is this? Where like what are you doing playing this sport? Like what is that? They always like lately they've been asking me that. Like just this past week I was at a boxing press conference, and one of the Showtime guys was like, what is that thing you guys are always posting in the warehouse, or what is that? And I show them a video, and then like when they go to Chris Rose in the booth, they're like, what? That's right. And it like solidifies what we're doing at in the warehouse. But he's awesome. Yeah,
he literally goes from like the warehouse, then he's like on the field at the Super Bowl, like doing the post game, and you're like, what?
Yeah,
like,
so casual,
insane. Yeah. Speaking of just crazy boxing things, you just recently called a match with Jake Paul.
Jake, he's a good guy.
So you're like kind of a big deal in the boxing world, right? Like you can say that.
I mean,
here.
Jake Paul tagged you in his Instagram story.
Like literally tagged you.
That's crazy.
I still don't feel like a big deal.
Does he follow you?
Yeah.
That's so insane. Like that is so crazy. Does Jake Paul want to come to the warehouse?
I tried to get him to come to the office. Now I actually think this could happen. Like now that we're working together. When he got into the boxing space, everyone in the boxing world was just trashing him. They're like, F this guy. He's not taking it serious.
Just a YouTuber.
He's a joke. He's a YouTuber. He's just going to come in, and just use the sport. But I didn't have that take. I was like, wait a second. Like
you saw the benefit.
Jake Paul is coming into our lane. Like, how is this a bad thing? Like, let's give him a chance first. And it turns out that, the event that I worked is all up-and-coming prospects. So he's investing in that. He's done great things for women's boxing. Like, he signed one of the best women fighters ever who was not getting enough money. She wasn't getting enough shine. Like, now, obviously, everyone knows her because he promotes the hell out of her. And she made her first $1 million purse for a fight. So he's done a lot of good. Obviously, you might not like some of the things he says, but he's an entertainer. I honestly think he has helped boxing in terms of how you should market yourself as a fighter, because you're just you in there. So you need to like build yourself up, in which he does a great job of. So I've never trashed him. So I didn't even know he followed me on Twitter because one day he was just replying to all my tweets, and I'm like, why is Jake Paul replying to this? And or like there was this controversy about him and his opponent.
Yeah.
And he's replying to me, and he's like, well, tell that guy this, or like make a video and do this. And I was like, oh, wait. And I clicked on it. I was like, I didn't even realize he was following me. And then so obviously I benefited not trashing him because
Yeah.
the true take that I had for him. But what was it? Yeah. So then he started doing these MVP shows, they're called, Most Valuable Prospects. And he announced that he was doing one in May, the first one, which happened obviously last month. And I just DM'd him. I was like,
You
bro,
just, like, straight up. I
because we
love it.
DM'd a few times.
Okay.
Like I went back and there's a few DMs, like, hey, like good luck in your fight, or like, hey, blah blah blah. And then I said, bro, you got to get me on one of these shows. I was like, I'd kill it. Like get me on there, because I don't have an agent, so I just did it myself.
I love that.
So he replied like right away. He's like, yeah, you would be great. And he's like, let's set up a call or whatever. And like the next day, I'm like on a call with their team, and like they hired me. And it was awesome. It was such a great experience, and like
So cool.
yeah, it was cool. It was on like DAZN, which is a big streaming service, and definitely the biggest event that I've ever worked like as a broadcaster.
Yeah.
But I felt like I didn't feel nervous or anything. I felt like this is what I should be doing.
Okay.
You know, I'm a little experienced.
Yeah.
I just went over. Like, if I was doing this 10 years ago, I'd be like literally like,
Yeah.
like holding the mic. I'd be nothing. Like I always
Right.
say that to everyone here. Like I feel like I joined John Boy at the right time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously, like I'm the old man, Dan, but like in mid-30s or like mid-30s. Oh damn, I'm old. And like I feel like I have so much experience. I'm also like ready for anything that's going to be thrown my way,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because we have a lot coming up this summer, and that I like could stress a lot of people out. But I feel like I have enough experience, and that's how I felt doing the Jake Paul show. We have another one coming up next month.
Really?
Mm.
With same crew, same.
Yeah, they're all in Orlando at this resort.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that ultimately what you enjoy most in the boxing space, is doing stuff like that? Or do you like more so the content creation, the interviews, and, you know, the realm with Inside Boxing Live?
I like doing both. I like we're going to record a show later, and like I love having like Ronnie in here and Chris. That's like the home base.
Yeah.
That's us just like talking about the sport and giving our opinions, and it's crazy that people are now looking at our opinions on the show, and it's like driving conversations in the sport, or like people are seeking out my picks or Chris's picks. That's wild to me, and it will always be wild to me. I said that at our live event. I was like, I still do the show thinking that 0 people listen, and it's just us talking to ourselves, and then you realize that there are people actually tuning in, which is nuts.
And invested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. I love it. I love it so much. But the broadcasting is always like, to me, you know, that's where you get seen. You know, it's like you watch the fights and you want to like if you see me on the broadcast, maybe you'll go and watch our show.
Right.
So I think it helps everything. It's like a little ecosystem. So it's not the biggest show, the Jake Paul thing, but it's definitely a step in the right direction.
You and I have talked about this before. Obviously, you are established in boxing. You have a job here with John Boy Media. You do stuff in the warehouse, but you really want to get into more just hosting and more just normal entertainment type of content. So what are you doing in that space now, and what do you want to do in that space in the future?
I feel like Dan on the Street was a good like introduction to get me out of just doing sports.
It shows your personality.
Yeah, so I love that, and I remember we had a meeting one day where like we need to start doing all this stuff, and I was like, I'm just gonna go out on the street, and then I literally went out the next day, and you know, they're fun. Always thinking of different ways to make it better. But we have another game show coming out. Can we say what it is?
Yeah.
Password is coming
Next
out
week.
soon. I hosted that. That was fun. I love that they give you like, that's the best thing about John Boy Media, is like you're able to like go in different lanes, and you can just do it very easily. Like you don't even have to ask. Like, they'll give you the leash to do it. So like obviously I love boxing, but I can't just do boxing all day long. I'd lose my mind. Love baseball, and I've been able to do ref guests and
Pregame show.
And pregame show, yeah.
Yankees pregame show. That's like the coolest thing ever.
That's
That's the
huge.
Pinstream moment.
That
right.
really?
Being
the
part of
pregame
like
show?
the Talking Yanks crew.
Yeah.
I think we have a crew now.
Yeah.
And just to be like just a small part of it.
To be trusted to be one of the guys on camera.
I
talk
love
about
that so much. I love the Yankees. That's like my real love. And that's how I got to know Jimmy and Jake, is from
Yeah.
Yankees. And just to sit in like the studio and do the show with BBD, and like the live event was so cool. And
Yeah.
thank you, Jake Bowers, for making me who I am today. No, but yeah, the Talking Yankees, I completely forgot about it because we're doing so much here that I think even today I'm going to go host it with Joe's, who I watched for years. And like now me and Joe's are just chopping it up over the Yanks.
I love that. So I kind of want to pivot. I want to talk a little bit about Warehouse because obviously your first appearance was BB1. And you have now coined the name Old Man Dan that we have already referenced. How did that come about? Does that bother you? And how was it playing with Drew Davis, who is without a doubt one of the youngest people
I love Drew
in the
Davis.
Warehouse?
He texted me on birthday. Happy birthday, Uncle Dan. I said, stay away from the buffet salmon. I'm going to, an exclusive, a Girls & Co. exclusive. I don't like being called Old Man Dan.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding.
But you've said both things.
What?
You said you hate it, and then you also say you love it.
I don't hate it. I
It's
don't.
like you
Put it on
like
your
your
employee
name
spotlight.
being chanted.
I like that I have a shtick. Like,
but you don't love being the old guy.
I'm not even the oldest guy in the league.
Yeah.
Joe's is getting off. Like he should
is.
thank me every day. And Bloof too.
And Blue.
Yeah.
Bloof's 1 year older than me. His birthday was last week. I texted him. I was like, "How the hell am I the old man?" And Joe's older than me, but it's fine. Everyone needs like a
There's
shtick.
no like hostility in that at all.
Not at all. I love it. A couple of my friends are like, I would stop that. Like, why do they call you old man? I was like, it's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke.
It's a gimmick.
It's a joke.
Like,
You literally play with Drew Davis, who's like freshly 21.
that's the whole point. Is like I'm not.
Literally.
It's irony. Like I'm not really old,
Yeah.
but I am old compared to my contemporaries here. So I absolutely love it. And Jimmy's like, we need more nicknames. He's like, oh man, Dan is great. Like, and we're trying to come up with other ones. And Jolly's the one who gave me the name during roulette.
Oh yeah.
He just I was on the mound and I was having a good game,
yeah.
and he was like, "Oh man, Dan!" And then just like I
It
heard
stuck.
it. I kept hearing it that game.
Oh, because you did crush roulette.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was like I felt like that was a good one for me because I wasn't able to play in BB2 for a
correct.
wedding or something. I don't know. I wasn't able to play in it, so I feel like I missed out like, on a year almost. So roulette, I was like, "Hey man, I can play wiffle ball. I played it my whole life, or blitzball. So get me out there."
Yep.
And then that was so much fun.
Dan's best moment in the Warehouse. Do you know what I'm about to say?
Oh, I
No.
love these.
Does this ring any bells for you?
Is that the hardest you've ever seen? What's his name? Laugh, right, Maddie?
Can you
Yes.
turn
So-
and face the?
It's a random one-off training session of the Warehouse. We had Colin Stone come out, and the premise was Colin Stone just ripping pitches by
throwing 100
by
at us.
everyone. And then Dan got up, and I need to listen to it because I can't remember what you said, but it was the single funniest thing I've ever heard. Like it was Colin versus Dan, and Colin was like saying something, talking to the camera, and then Dan. Like I watched with Maddie the first time, and Maddie lost his mind, and I've watched it no less than 1,200 times.
Can you put your mic to it? Because I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever heard this.
I don't either.
It was like such a so in passing. Bulldog up there. Let me make sure.
Start at your hit.
Yeah.
What? I'm gonna start it at your hit. Why are we talking? Let's go.
The funny thing is, I didn't know Colin
are we
Stone.
talking?
I didn't know
That
Colin Stone at all.
That is the funniest thing
Like
ever.
he's the nicest kid ever.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh,
so
yeah.
nice.
So I didn't know him at all. He was just throwing 100-mile pitches at us, and
I want to start at your hit. What? I'm gonna start it at your hit. Why are we talking? Let's go.
he's just trying to be nice and tell me like where the pitch is gonna
everything
come.
about that is the funniest thing.
I think it was the standing in there being very vulnerable.
Yeah, you guys were terrified.
100 mile an hour was coming
yeah.
out, so like I snapped. Like I would never say that to Colin and ever because he's the nicest kid ever.
Why are we talking?
Yeah, I was like, let's just do this
my
already.
God,
I
that's the
like
best.
let me just strike out and move on. But that's the Warehouse for
Yeah,
you.
your commentary, even in
Yes.
like blitzballs, just like in blitzball battles, you're just you talking to yourself, you talking to Drew, just you're
You're
mic'd
very
up
like
is really
witty
good.
and honest. And I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
that's why
Yes.
people love you. And I think it
So
plays
funny.
like it plays into the old man Dan thing. Like
Yes. It's like wise wisdom.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like, and you just don't give a fuck energy. So
Yes.
it's like it kind of just comes, but not in like a cocky way. In like a,
Yeah.
this is all I got.
Yeah,
way.
this
You know what I
is
mean?
everything I got,
Yeah.
and we
That's
are
the
just playing
best.
blitzball in a
Yeah.
Warehouse. I do want to win, but I will go home at night and be fine
Yeah.
with any
Yeah.
result. And Drew, I love Drew, but he's a very emotional player.
I loved you two together
Yeah,
as
it's the
teammates.
best.
Like I had to rein him in a few times, or give him a pep talk a few times, give him tough love, and I love that because I always had people doing that for me when I was younger. So
It was like father-son energy. Because
Yeah.
at times I would have you guys in my ear, And I would just hear what like you're telling Drew, and I'm like cracking up on the sidelines, just like, yo man, just like chill. Drew's like, I gotta get the pitch.
I suck so bad today. I was like, it's all right. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna go eat lunch and go out tonight after. We're gonna have a
like,
grand
I'm sorry, I let you down. It's like disappointed.
Can you talk about how your real dad is invested in your Blitzball career?
He just texted me. My dad, Bob Canobbio, great guy. Obviously, he built the football field. He was an awesome player in his day. I'm like half the player that he was. He was so good. And he saw my stance in one of the games. I sent him something, like a daily, which is like a, I don't know why I even said that. That was like a movie term. Like I sent him
like a little clip from what happened that
the roulette. Yeah. Like that night, Ronnie, I took a video off the screen in the loft, and I sent it to my dad, and he's like, well, first off, he's like, why are you standing so far off the plate? Secondly, like, move up. Like, you're stepping out. It brought me right back to high school. Like, you're stepping out. Your back foot is moving. You're standing too far away from the plate. So I'm like, okay, good. That makes sense. And I got moved up. The next day, I'm hitting home runs, getting in the zone. And then for the last one, he was so invested in BB3. Like, I was giving him updates like right after the games were over. He knows all the teams now that play in it. He's giving me scouting report on how to hit Jack Doyle, which is impossible. Can't hit him for the life of me.
So cute.
And he's like, you guys got just giving me advice, which is hilarious. Yeah.
He wasn't able to come watch, right?
No, one day it was like terrible weather and he couldn't make it out there. It's a pretty healthy drive, as you know.
Yeah.
But he'll be there for some other ones. Good. You know, we have a lot of plans coming up for some really fun Blitzball content coming our way. And that's not. I was just saying it to Dalton. I was like, bro, have you like thought that we have another Blitzball battle? Yeah. Like BB3 was so big for us that I feel like we were so invested, we were so in it that like almost in my mind it's like, oh, that's it. We're not gonna, but there is another one coming.
It's crazy to think that everyone is gonna get into that mindset again of we have another giant tournament.
This is just the beginning.
Like it's crazy that we get so high off the one that we're focused on that you forget after the come down. There's another one.
There's another one. There's gonna be another one after that. It's gonna be another one. I got to preserve my body. I'm talking to Chris Algieri about some anti-aging clinics down in Boca. He has a lot of plans for me. Okay, can't even reveal. He has a degree in sports medicine.
Honestly,
huge.
film it all.
That's big.
Yeah.
Film it all.
He's like, I can get
that would be hilarious content.
BB4 content would be you and Chris getting right down in Florida, like getting your body right.
He can like really get me right in ways that like could be illegal.
Well,
you didn't hear that on this show.
No, you didn't.
Safe space. Drew
So,
Davis just texted me.
what did he say?
His ears are ringing.
They have to be.
Oh my God.
Oh.
What is it?
What is it?
Magnum's car.
He put an Inside Boxing Live sticker on his car.
Can you call him right now?
Please.
FaceTime him.
Drew Davis.
FaceTime Drew Davis.
Person ever.
Wait, an Inside Boxing Live sticker on his car?
Seriously, one of my favorite people.
Drew, where are you?
I hope he answers.
Where are you in the world? He may be driving those driverless cars. That's his job.
Oh, yeah.
He does?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's got headphones on. What's up, Drew? I'm on the air right now.
Hi, Drew.
Hi, Drew.
Hi, Drew.
I'm on Girls & Co. That's what I'm talking about, my friend. I was just telling them. We're literally just talking about you, which is nuts. They were like, what's it like playing with Drew? I was like, he needs to stay away from the buffet salmon. What are you eating?
If I learned anything from BB3 is that I have an iron gullet.
There you go. The one main thing. What are you eating?
Some chorizo, pico,
Nice.
and eggs.
Love that for you.
Oh, he's training for floorball.
Yeah. Floorball coming up. We got BB4. We need to get you right. You are the heart and soul of the Hook, Line, Sinkers. I'm the old man. I'm 1 year older, as you know.
My body is going to be a well-oiled machine.
Nice. That's one of us. All right, Drew. I love you. Be good.
Bye, Drew.
Bye.
He's good. Aw.
Drew Davis, everybody.
He's the best.
What a guy.
He's the
Yeah.
best.
What are the odds? We don't want to talk that much.
What?
Don't worry, DC. I've been on a regimented diet gearing up for you. What is he, like, listening? What is going on?
That's so
That's
weird.
That
So
is so
crazy.
odd.
That's
I'm
nuts.
spooked.
Yeah.
What was your first impression of finding out that you were going to be playing with Drew
I
Davis?
was pumped.
Yeah?
Because I know how good he is. Like, I watched him at BB2. He was at BB1. He's
Yeah.
a veteran.
Yeah.
This guy's been in everything we've done at the warehouse, and he's so athletic. And like, I heard I remember watched one thing of his. He was like waving goodbye. He struck
Yeah,
someone out and he
and
waved
he-
them goodbye. I was like,
Yeah.
so is he like a heel? Is he
Right.
like a punk?
He's like a lovable heel.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
a lovable punk. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard in MLW he has a whole other like personality.
Yeah.
When he comes to the warehouse, he's lovable. But I honestly like love the kid. Like, you think he's such a good person. Like, obviously, want to play, we want to win. But I think he's just like a sweet kid.
Yeah.
There are some good moments in the Ball and Play tournament that's coming up with Drew, and just interview clips that have to do with like anger and dogs and like happiness and sadness, like all at the same time.
like
And
Drew.
it's remarkable.
Sounds like
truly.
a 21-year-old or however old he is.
Truly.
Yeah.
Those are all the questions I have for
questions.
your interview. Sam Taylor, you have any other questions for Dan?
No. This is a really great catch up part 2.
Yeah.
I know. I felt cheated off the first one.
The people will be able to see it this time.
Yeah.
You guys know the story already. These stories, so.
They'll be able to see it. You're doing Yankees pregame show?
Yeah.
Yankees pregame. Gonna tape my my show with Chris. Going to the Yankees game tonight. Legends seats.
Who are you going with?
Maria.
Miss
And
Inside Boxing
Miss
Live.
Inside
Miss
Boxing
Inside
Live.
Boxing,
Her
excuse me.
cousins own a ton of restaurants upstate. They're like an empire up there. The Landseas.
And they have Legend Suites.
And they have like 6 restaurants. All their uncles work there. Or her cousins work there. And apparently like they spend so much money on like alcohol, like beer distributors, like hook them up once a year.
That's cool.
For like a really
So clutch.
like they have a list of Yankee games. So they got 4 Legend seats, first row.
You're going to die.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I've sat Legends before. It was awesome. The food is just unreal.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to plug? Where can people follow you?
Yeah.
Inside Boxing Live on YouTube.
Okay.
Follow me at Dan Canobbio on Instagram and Twitter, TikTok. Inside Boxing Live TikTok is like
Popping
crazy.
off.
TikTok's wild.
Popping off.
Do you
You-
believe
you-
those numbers?
You
though?
put your nieces on Inside Boxing Live TikTok over the weekend.
For a second, you saw it.
Yeah.
I deleted it
Oh, why?
because I needed to save it.
Oh.
So we
Why did you
made.
put it on your story?
What story?
I saw that video of your
on your
nieces.
Instagram story.
Where you
It was
hit
on my
them over?
Instagram story, but I made it on TikTok.
Yeah.
But I had to like you have to make it on
Oh.
TikTok to get it. So I
yes.
made it and it was posted for like a hot second.
Oh.
And then you
Wow.
took it down.
And I
And
took
then
it
you took
down,
it in
but
stories.
I still have it saved. So I put it on my story.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
I was lying to them too. They were like, "Is it trending?" I was like, "Yeah, it was trending just on Long Island."
You guys are huge.
And
That's
John
right.
Boy Boxing on Instagram.
Change it to Inside Boxing Live.
Oh, Inside Boxing Live on Instagram.
I figured,
I don't post
shouldn't
there.
everything? You're a social media manager.
it should match.
Everything
Should be
should
the
be
same.
universal.
Yeah.
Inside
I
Boxing
just
Live.
assumed there was a reason it wasn't from the beginning.
I don't know. I was just not good at it.
Oh, all
we're
right.
getting
Well,
better.
I don't post there.
Inside
No,
boxing.
I do it all myself.
Yeah, Dan does all of
It's
that.
so
himself.
hard.
You're doing great.
Yeah, you do great.
I know, but I like at night. It'd be like 10 at night, and that'd be like breaking news. But I like it that way because that I know.
You
my
also know
voice.
it best.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's would be really hard for one of us to jump in and try and
Right.
take that over because we really don't know.
No,
it
I
like you
I
do.
like doing it, and it would be really hard, and I want my like fingerprints on it.
Yeah.
Control freak.
That's okay. Hey, doing something right. Dan, thank you for coming. You're welcome anytime.
Thanks
You
for
want to
having
like
me. Wait, let me say something about you guys.
what?
I love you
okay.
guys.
We love you too.
Great
love you
show.
too.
You guys grind every week.
Yeah.
You all have other like stuff that you do here. All 3 are a very big part of what makes John Boy go. So I have a lot of respect for you ladies,
Thank you.
girls and co. So thanks for having me. And like everyone loves to come on the show. You make it very comfortable and keep going.
See, you don't have to be nervous. Keep going. Keep going.
going.
Is that
going.
the last?
And,
That's the
don't
last
quit.
line. And
keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Keep trying.
Every day we're just keeping going.
Yeah.
here. That's all
True.
we do here. Just keep going.
So funny.
And on that note, that's another episode. Bye.
Bye.